So hello and welcome back to another video. This video is going to be a little bit different. I always say that and then it's never really all that different, but this video is kind of based on ones that I've seen for the last couple of months, like journal ecosystem tours and stuff. And I thought it'd be interesting to do because I'm a visual artist and not a writer, and I really see a lot of poetry and prose and like novelist writers really into this sort of thing, or people that just maybe aren't necessarily like visually artistic in any way and just like to hyper organize stuff. And I'm really not that kind of person. I don't write a lot. I'm a visual artist. I try not to say artist because it's like, oh, is writing not an art? It is. But I have this, ow, no, it's awful because of the giant size difference with some of these. So I have my current journal ecosystem and just going over it now. I have a tiny journal, I have my main journal, or it's like a commonplace book, I have my planner, I have my main sketchbook, and then I have my school sketchbook. And so we're gonna go kind of over all of them and just kind of talk about what I like about them. And I already recorded like 30 minutes of a video of this, and I just kind of ended up rambling and not consolidating my thoughts like I wanted to. And then I was like thinking as I was talking, I was like, I don't want to go back and edit this video. So I'm restarting. But the first one I have is this tiny little journal, because when I started watching these journal ecosystem videos, I was like, I have one journal and that's this one, and I had a really great idea for why I would need a second one. And I believe at the time I was thinking of using this as a video idea, like video creation and stuff, and then I never used it. So I used it for some random things, and I put like I like putting a bunch of stickers in the front because it's really low effort and it makes everything look nice. I like these little Pinterest quotes. I like printing out a lot of stuff on Pinterest and just putting a cute, just slapping it on, because I really like curated images and stuff. And I think everyone with Pinterest gets that sort of way where they want their life to look like that. So even though my life isn't perfect and I don't have the money to afford a lot of the stuff I see, I can print out some pictures for free, and it like kind of scratches that itch for me. And I really like this cover. You could see that I do that with the cover, that I just try to go for like a cute little vibe. And none of this stuff makes sense. There's like cameras and like boots and a backpack, and like I really love this nail color. But you know, just some cute things. And I used this notebook like for lists, and then I used it to write down like one sentence mean thoughts that I have, where it was like, well actually, I used it to write down some music from YouTube that I wanted to download. I used the YouTube audio library for all my music because I'm cheap. And then it just kind of devolved into me needing to like write down all these feelings, and so I put them in here for some reason. But I would like to focus and use this as a video idea journal, just because in this journal I do have some pages dedicated to video ideas, but I never flip back to them, so I never end up making those videos. And this journal is, I started this in October, the first entries from October of 2023, and it was the follow-up to this journal, and I don't really have any more journals before this. And this one was started in January of 2022 and finished August 24th of 2023. So this was like my junior and senior year of high school, and I just want to take a minute to appreciate the cover. Okay? I want everyone to acknowledge how good my music taste is and how wonderful this journal cover is, because it is so beautiful. We have Christian Pfaff, we have Slow Dive, we have a lot of Kurt Cobain and Nirvana. We have My Bloody Valentine, we have Hole, we have Babes in Toyland. Like, this was a banger of a cut. For this one I sealed it, and you could probably see the Mod Podge streaks, but all the images are kind of better quality than this one that got scratched off, but I feel like it gives this one like such a nice little vibe. Anyways, I didn't really hear that much about commonplace journaling, but that's basically what this journal is to me. It's got like some collages that I'll show. It's got like class notes for presentations and stuff. I'll try to find this one thing. It's got like, oh, dream life planning and like just aesthetic stuff and like date ideas, and it's just really pretty, I guess. There are a lot in the beginning, like a lot of those diary entry-esque things, but sometimes I'm just taking notes. So like this was also in the workout craze, and I made this shopping list of a bunch of healthy food that I knew I liked for my Phi Theta Kappa project last year, like all the notes for that. Like this is a very random journal. It's meant to be that way. It's just whatever I want it to be. I really love this page. It's like a shot list, so all these compositions of shots that I like. That the idea was to find like a sticky note tab to put in here so that whenever I film a video, like a vlog, I go and look at it and be like, how can I set up my camera in an interesting way? This was like the last page of 2025 or 2024, and it was a big ramble, and I don't read it because it hurts. So much left. This is a paper age journal. This one is a moleskin, and this is a moleskin sketchbook. So it's not lined, it's supposed to be a sketchbook. I didn't like it as a sketchbook, and I decided to use it as a journal instead so that I wasn't wasting my time. That's how I got into it. Or so that basically so I wasn't wasting my parents' money, because those things are expensive and I asked for it for Christmas and I felt so bad. But this is like $10 on Amazon and it feels better than moleskin. But yeah, this is just kind of, after that, I tried to use this for notes and for things that, like, this is a class presentation. So I'm here to show you that this thing is not pretty. Like, journaling doesn't have to be pretty. As a visual artist, as someone who literally gets myself in an art block with this sketchbook, because I focus on how beautiful it has to be, don't think like that when it comes to a journal, because this is about like your thoughts and your expression. For me especially, I focus on it not being self-made. Like, I'm not forcing my handwriting to look any different. I'm not forcing myself to make all of the visual art that makes this journal pretty. I'm printing out pictures from Pinterest and I'm arranging them in a way that I like, and I'm not caring about it being an artistic thing. So I guess a lot of these are mood boards, not really collages, but it makes me feel good and productive to use paper instead of a screen. I use my phone and my iPad and my computer so much, to the point where using my computer feels productive. I will literally be sitting wasting my time on my computer and it feels productive because I'm not on my phone and I'm not wasting time on my iPad. I'm actually a lot more productive on my iPad than anything else because I just use it to draw, basically. I have the GoodNotes app, and I could get the like 1 year or like the one-time payment subscription for it, which is like $30, and that's not bad. But like, there's something really nice about having notes on paper to look at. And like, I'm just showing you this because like, it doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to look cool, and that's it. That's the end. I don't know. This journal is very special to me. I'm gonna be really sad when I'm done with it, but I'm also so excited to be done with it because I outgrew this cover like a month after I made it. Whereas like, it's still like kind of timeless and whatever, but this was when I started this, I was in a very, this is gonna sound dumb, but really girly mindset, and I'm not a very girly person. And I mean girly as in like the traditional girliness where it's like lacy and bows and pink and this and that, and I like bows, I like pink, I like lace. That's why there's lace on here. That's why there's lace on my graduation cap. That's why I actually have one of these strips of lace on one of my bags to this day. Okay, so not slamming that sort of thing. And I'm just not a pink person, but this one is a cover I would still want to use today. And I feel like this cover kind of, because it's the most recent, it embodies the collaboration of the two in a way where it's like a lot darker colors, but it's like, it's feminine, but it's all muted. I really like muted. I love muted colors. So these are the first two journals. And this is coming up next. This one's my planner. I don't use this every day. And this planner is, I don't know the brand, but it's an undated journal. So when you open up a blank page, it looks like this. And this is so important to me because when I buy planners, I waste them. And it's either my own mental health or just not having a lot going on, but I will not use a planner every day because I'm like, well, my day's not interesting. I'm not doing anything today. I'm literally on my phone or playing Deltarune all day, I don't need to write that down. But an undated journal means that I can fill it in whenever. So like during the summer when I don't need to write anything down because it's a very loosey-goosey kind of schedule, I don't. When I started this, it was September of last year. I was so busy and bogged out. You could see how much stuff I had to do, and this was so helpful. Now that we're back in September, back in school starting, I'm using it, and it's just really helpful. This is like the average week in my life last year. Really busy. And really stupidly busy. Last semester specifically, the spring semester of 2024, I didn't need it a lot because most of my classes, like the classes that were taking up a lot of my time, were art classes that weren't really good. I use planners and I like them a lot for a lot of busy work when it's like, I need chapter this read, I need chapter this quiz done, I need these small but a lot of assignments done, and I need to organize my time for them. Whereas art assignments, it's like, hey, you have 2 weeks to draw this thing. I don't need that planned out. I'm gonna go to class and I'm gonna draw, that's all it is. So, and it's just been really helpful. It's not that aesthetic, not that cute. I've been bouncing in my head the last couple weeks of like, do I get a Hobonichi weeks? Because they're really cute, but they're not undated. So I know I'm gonna waste my time with it, but they're so cute, and I hate this time of year when everyone's buying their Hobonichi planners and decorating them because I love decorating. But yeah, so these are the 3 writing journals that I use. And if I didn't talk about the stickers on the back, this is from Newberry Comics, and these are from New Hampshire, so have fun trying to find them. But these are my 3 writing journals. So mini journal that is random but will try to be for video creation purposes or just general creativity ideas and stuff so that I can look back on it instead of trying to fish through this entire thing. I guess this is like a commonplace journal, or just random thoughts, just normal. You can have a normal journal. You don't need a diary journal, and then a collage journal, and then a movie tracking journal, and then a book tracking journal, and then a this and a that. You don't need to buy so much stuff. You don't. You can do it all in one thing, because I'm telling you, you're not going to do it as often as you think you will. You're not going to. And then this is a undated planner, because I like to be organized when I want to be organized, and I don't care to be organized when I don't need to be. Which is during the summer and winter break, because I'm unemployed during that time. I don't care. Then we're gonna get to the more weirder editions, and these won't be full tours because I believe one of the last videos to come out will have been like an at the time. Actually, no, it won't be of this one, it'll be of my other school ones. So when I'm finished with this semester, I'll do a school sketchbook tour of this behemoth, massive thing. This sketchbook I have had for too long. December 29th of 2022, and it's got some greats. Let me block my last name, but this is the first page. Pretty cute. Some of the stuff I stole from Pinterest. I wrote, as a reward for finding this, I wrote your mom. So just some cute stuff. Just some cute stuff. I think I'm giving more of a flip through of this than I ever have before. So I guess the goal with this one is to have a sketchbook tourable sketchbook, like one that would be aesthetic and pretty and cute and everything I want to see from sketchbook tours online. With that though comes a lot of feeling not good enough and not like I want to make that kind of art at that time, so I don't do it, and that's why it's not finished. But I do still love it. I like the art in it. And maybe it's not as good as the stuff I do digitally because I can tweak the digital stuff as much as I want. But I don't know, it brings me to a happy place. So this is when I use this, it's very purposeful. It's very much a specific kind of art I want to make. It's, you know, I have the intent on finishing it and, you know, not having it be random. I know there's a lot of discourse within the art community of like sketchbooks versus art books, and so I feel like people would jump on me to call this an art book instead of a sketchbook, but screw you, it's a sketchbook. A sketchbook is what you make of it. A journal is what you make of it. That's kind of the whole point here, is that your creativity is your own thing. So whether or not you need to be the type of person, I was saying you don't have to be because of consumerism, not because of creativity or writing, but you don't need 3 different sketchbooks for 3 different things, you know, unless you're going to use them. I use my school sketchbook very purposefully. I use my, you know, purposeful, pretty sketchbook in a specific way. Not very often, but it's very specific. I started this sketchbook this semester, and you see how little I use other sketchbooks. This is how much I've done of it. This is very intentional. I needed this. I needed this amount of space. I needed this amount of paper. It wouldn't have been okay in this kind of sketchbook. I get very heated because people try to be like, oh, well, you know, you make other artists feel bad when you call your really pretty sketchbook a sketchbook. And I don't know why I'm doing the cringy anime voice, but I am. My brother does that a lot, so it's kind of a habit I picked up from him. But it's like, actually, my sketchbook is not yours. It's not your sketchbook. And that's something, if you're a beginner artist and you watch a sketchbook tour and you think, oh, I'm not good enough because their sketchbook doesn't look anything like my sketchbook, I want you to take this and I want you to do that. Don't do it hard. Just a little bit. Just reset. Okay, don't hit yourself. Don't hit yourself, obviously. But I'm like, this is not your sketchbook, okay? Your name is not in this sketchbook. Your stickers are not on this sketchbook. Your art is not in this sketchbook. This is mine. So I can do what I want with it. And I'm at a different level than some other artists. I'm a lot worse than a lot of other artists. Like, I'll list a few. Radically Maxton, his sketchbook tours are so good. They're so much more different than mine. His normal sketchbook is a lot more like my school sketchbook. It's a lot more drafting, a lot more planning. Tameka, the artist that started my entire desire to make the kind of stuff that I do online and make the exact style of art that I do, because I am heavily influenced by her style, will admit, call me red-handed, her sketchbook is so much better than mine, and that's the vibe I'm trying to replicate with my sketchbook. But don't look at art that you think is better than yours in whatever kind of way you think it's better. Don't look at art that you think is better than yours and feel down about it. Try to look at it and then feel that, like, when I look at art better than mine, sometimes I get demotivated. It depends on the kind of art and the kind of artist, but I do tend to get demotivated sometimes. But other times, and this is why I love Tameka so much, and I can't put into words how much her art means to me, I feel thirsty in a way. Not like hey babe, like not that kind of thirsty, but like I feel this fervor to just, I want more, not to consume more, not to whatever, but I'm like, this is so good that I need so much more of this that I need to make it myself. Basically, to me, what makes a good artist, to me, in my mind, is an artist that makes me want to do the artistic equivalent of fan fiction. And not fan art. I haven't drawn Tameka's OCs or anything. I haven't really done specific fan art for her. But all my sketchbooks, all 4 of my sketchbooks, even my school sketchbooks, are testaments to how much I love her art. Because it makes me want to homage her in it fills me with so much love that I'm like, I need to make that. I need to do this. Like, I know a book that I read is really good when I want to reconsider my life choices and I wish I was a writer. I just finished Bunny by Mona Awad yesterday. If I pronounce that wrong, my bad. And I finished the book thinking, God, I want to write something like that. So when I see art that says that I feel bad about, I try to spin it into like, I want to make something like that. So TLDR, this is a sketchbook, and if you get mad at me for saying that, that's a you problem. So this is my school sketchbook, and this one looks a lot more like a traditional sketchbook. This is for my illustration 2 class and my 2D design class. And so the first half of the semester has been a lot of exercises and planning for my illustration 2 final, which is 8 finished illustrations. And this lighting is getting crazy. We had to do a lot of generic exercises that I already did in my drawing 2 and figure drawing classes last semester, so if they look rushed, it's because they were. Musculature studies, this one's really cool. I love this page so much. I have no idea if it will get taken down, if it's nudity or whatever, but most of this is Gwen, and then here's my OC Grace, and this black outline makes it look so much more like morose and depressing than it was supposed to be, but I really love drawing her body type, and I try to appreciate, I don't know, I try to appreciate her as a character, and I try to appreciate her body type whenever I draw it. Here are all the thumbnails for my final, here, we're gonna change angles. Here are all the thumbnails for my final project illustration. And I'm doing almost all of these, and you can see that a couple of them are references or homages to other media. Is this the one? Yes, this one is based off of a Evangelion art, this one is based off of a Death Note art, and this one is based off of Perfect Blue. Pretty heavy-handed homages, but you guys see how I go with Tamika, so you guys will see how I roll when it comes to other artists as well. This page is so good. But yeah, so like writing down the elements of design as we're talking in my 2D design class, and she lets us doodle. And I doodled this and then I colored it in later, and I'm using acrylic ink and not watercolor that much anymore. And I should do an updated supply tour. Maybe that's what I'll record today. But basically, you can see the difference, and I think it's good to have, as much as I am against buying a lot of stuff that you don't need to buy, I think everyone should have one journal, one planner, and if you are an artist, you are a visual artist, you should have 2 sketchbooks. So you should have one journal you can do anything in. If you decide, if you use it so much that you need other journals to do other things, that's okay. That's how you should think of it. Do you watch and review movies physically so much that you need an entire journal dedicated to it? Or can you consolidate and use one page spread to do 4 or 5 different films? You probably can, so you can use one journal for it. But if you're watching like a movie a day basically and you want to review them, then maybe you need another journal. It depends on the amount of your hobby that takes over and how. That's kind of it. I also, the third thing is that I really like looking at everything, all of my thoughts in one go. So that's why I like having one journal. And the tiny journal was a consumerism slip up. I was watching those journal ecosystem videos, I was influenced, and I went and bought the most expensive pocket journal I could find. Not because it was expensive, but because I saw it and I was like, ooh, I want it, and I did it, and I shouldn't have. My mentality when it comes to sketchbooks, and I'm gonna close this so that I stop doing a tour of it because I need to like talk. But my mentality with having 2 sketchbooks is I think having a sketchbook where you try instead of digital art, because most artists will have a sketchbook and their physical art is for practice and for play, and that is good. That's good, and I'm getting to that. But I think having a physical place where you purposefully create really good art to the degree that you would digital, if you're like me. Most of my digital art is focused on being as good as it can be, polished and finished and done. And those are my professional portfolio pieces. I don't have a professional portfolio, but you get the gist. For me, I don't like painting a lot. Like my final illustration, that's all on watercolor illustration board. I don't really like planning those kinds of illustrations out, and I don't really know how much I'm going to realistically do that after this class. So for my sketchbook, it's like a journal. It's like a journal and a timeline of all my art for a certain amount of time. This is not how I draw anymore. This is not what my art looks like anymore. Just flipping to the back. It's not even how I draw. It's not how I draw legs or faces or bodies. We'll just go back here again. Like, it's entirely different. And so I get to see that timeline, and I get to see these ideas progress, and I get to see when I create these ideas all in one polished place. And then having a play sketchbook or a school sketchbook like this, and this is where you just work. Like, this is work to me. Even though this is work because it's more effort, this is work because it's a grind. I will do 5 pages of gesture studies. I will do figure studies. I will do 3 different expression sheets of the entire page for a different character. I did one for Cole, I did one for Gwen, I did one for Andy. An entire page each. Like, that's not something I would enjoy seeing in here. It's not something I'd enjoy doing in there because of the size, but it's important to be in here. Long video, not really a point to it, other than here's kind of what I do. Here's all the stuff I carry around all day. Welcome to my back pain and future scoliosis diagnosis. But basically, you don't need a lot. And this is a lot. This is a lot of stuff, but this is a curation of things that I need. I had my journal and that was all I used. And then I realized I felt so overwhelmed in my classes, I needed a place to plan physically, because digitally I don't check that all the time. I use Notion. I was gonna bring Notion up in this video, but it's already 44 minutes long, like recording wise. Notion is a really great app and a really great software to use, but it's not my favorite thing to go through because I've been using it for so long that I have so much stuff in there. And there's something really important to me about having it physically on paper. It feels more productive than being on a computer. So this is a lot of stuff, and I kind of want to consolidate my thoughts at the end here because I know I've been rambling and there isn't really a through line because I didn't like plan a section of notes for this or anything. But this is a lot of stuff, but this is all very necessary to me, except for the tiny notebook, but I'm gonna try to make it work because I spent the money. And so I think it's important to me to know what is worth spending money on. So things like planners and things like journals, it's worth it to me because I like having a non-visually artistic place to dump ideas. I'm not going to plan a personal curriculum in my sketchbook because I'm not feeling visually artistic when I'm doing that. I'm not going to use my sketchbook as a planner, even though like I could because it's paper and paper's paper. I want to use a planner. I want a dedicated space and I want to just be able to pick that book up if that's all I need for the day. I don't want to use a paper age sketchbook as a sketchbook because it's not the type of paper I like and it's not the kind of thing that would make my art satisfying. And I don't want to use any sort of journal at this size as a sketchbook where I try to learn stuff and I try to learn how to draw a body at a decent proportion. Just for example, this is a 9x12 sketchbook. These are all in the 5x8 inch range. I don't know, it's just prioritizing what feels good to me about the kind of work that I'm doing. When I just bring my planner and my journals with me, I'm feeling a specific kind of productivity. I'm not necessarily feeling like a visual artist. I want to feel more like a writer. I want to feel more like a video creator. And when I just bring my sketchbooks, then that's all in. We're just all in with the visual artist identity. Basically, I have different hobbies, I have different interests, and I have different needs for these sorts of things. And I don't know if this gave you any ideas, but I wanted to make this video because I wanted to talk. I like talking about my stuff, but I wanted to talk about it because it's important for me to talk about having hobbies outside of visual art as a visual artist, because I feel like a lot of visual artists don't. And I feel like a lot of other people do talk about using visual art as a hobby and they have other hobbies, but they are not specifically an artist in the way that I am. So I want to see that in other people, so because I don't, I want to make it. So if you are someone out there who's like, I'm an OC artist, I'm a digital artist, but sometimes I get these really like big feelings of like, I want to write, or I want to feel productive in this sort of way, or you know, I see these other things online too. This isn't my entire core of an identity. That's kind of what this is here for. I have a lot of identity issues. I don't really know how to end this. I don't know. Let me know if this made sense, first of all. Let me know if this was mindless rambling. If you have any ideas, because I want to make this my video ideas journal. If you have any ideas for videos that you would want to see me make, whether it's like me talking about my hobbies more, or yeah, basically just comment whatever, comment something. Do you journal? Do you have a sketchbook? What do you use your sketchbook for? IDK gang. Like and subscribe if you liked the video. I'm gonna dip out because my voice is very scratchy because my water bottle isn't full. Bye!